So welcome back. This is going to be an exciting episode. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the new Metabo model number 1890 DCA cordless framing nailer. So we'll quickly go through the unboxing. Those can be quite boring. Comes with a nice carry bag if you're interested in that. And the reason I decided to pull the trigger on this one, y'all, there is a lot of framing nailers out there, no doubt, but I have read all the reviews I can get my hands on. Metabo seems to be one of the leaders here. So I decided to go against my typical DeWalt lineup of tools that I have because I didn't like the reviews on their framing nailer and go with this brand new model right here. So it's worth mentioning, another reason I jumped on this, it comes standard with the carry bag, the framing nailer, and one 4-hour 18-volt battery. Now this new model right here that they just released is also flex volt, so it can also work on 36 or 18-volt batteries. And right now at least, Metabo was offering a free 36/18 volt battery here. 2.5 amp hours at 36 volts, 5 amp hours at 18 volts. That's a killer deal here. You're definitely gonna want an extra battery with a framing nailer like this, and the fact they were throwing it in for free for the new release made me pull the trigger on this. So as we take a peek at this, the new model is about a pound lighter than the previous model. That's going to be nice because cordless framing nailers can get quite heavy. That's the other thing they talk about. You can use their lightweight batteries here, or if you want to go with more power, you can add a little bit more weight, which say a 5 amp hour or other types of batteries. It comes with an aluminum magazine here. I do believe they make extensions for this, and I got the 30-degree model. They make a 21 and a 30, and it's worth noting that now with the 30-degree model, the reason I prefer it, not only do you get more nails in the magazine, but you can do clip head or offset round head nails here. A lot of people go 21 degree because full round head, well, that option is available for 30-degree framing nailers. So if you take a look at this, we're going to talk about a few more features that really sold me on this gun over all the other models. I've looked at Milwaukee and numerous other models. This seemed to be the clear winner. So if you take a look down here, here is our little LED display and buttons to press to power it on. You can also do single fire or sequential fire mode right here by selecting this button. It comes with a joist hanger. Tool stays on board if you need to service the unit in the field. Another new nice upgrade of this model over the previous one, you get a much more aggressive tip. So if you want to come in at a steep angle, this one doesn't want to slip and kick out like the previous model. You've got toolless nail depth adjustment. And one big feature worth talking about, this is the reason I decided to go with the Metabo. This is one of the only models that I'm aware of, I'm not saying there's more out there, that uses air and it's user serviceable. You can remove this cap right here, purchase an aftermarket air chuck adapter that goes into this, and you can actually field service or user service this. That was one of the big reasons I decided to stay away from Milwaukee. They use a nitrogen charged chamber, and after, tens of thousands of shots, it has to be serviced. Well, the bad part is you have to send that back to them for serviceability. I did not like that design. And DeWalt uses an old school ramp up flywheel technology, very noisy, can be a little slow. I've heard it's got some jamming issues, so I decided to stay away from that as well. So this also has some features in here. It'll notice whenever you get down to the last nail, not allow you to fire. You'll see some blinking and other lights going on here. I'm about to build a firewood rack today, so you're going to see this in use, and then we'll go ahead and do some additional testing of it. All right, so we're going to pop in some 3/4 inch ring shank galvanized nails right here. These are the offset full head. All right, looks like we can put 2 in at a time. After we shoot a few, we can fit a third one in there, it appears. And I may look in at the magazine extension. We'll see with time. All right, so up to this point, you've been seeing me drive in 3/4 inch ring shank nails. I just swapped over to 2 3/8 nails right here. Typically, you go to the 2 3/8, 2.5 for putting on sheathing. Well, this is 3/4 inch 1x6s that I'm putting on here, so I thought I'd try it out. The one thing I did notice, I have to keep backing way off the nail depth adjuster, almost to the point it fell off once and I had to go back a few turns because this is so powerful. It's over penetrating all my nails. So I'm running this on the light end and I'm finally getting the results that I want by doing that. So I'm on the low end of adjustment and I'm finally getting flush. Even with the big 3 1/4 inch framing nails, I was overdriving. There just has tons of power, but I still had a lot of adjustment there. I should have backed it out further. So even though I'm almost out of adjustment, it's adequate. It is getting me toward the flush side, if that's important to you. I know there's a lot of code that don't allow you to overdrive nails for sheathing, for example, and I am able to bring out flush, even short 2 3/8 nails right here. All right, so something else, a feature that's very important and worth mentioning. No matter how you set this down, I'm finding it always wants to stay up. This is a feature I've never had before with a nail gun. That right there is awesome thought by the engineers here. So when I sit this down, so it stays up based on the way they build it front and rear, so it's always ready for you to reach in with your hand and grab it. That's a feature I didn't even realize this had, and something I never realized I wanted until now that I have it. I don't ever want to go back to a gun that has to lay down. I love that this is always ready for me to quickly pick up after I'm holding a piece or just needing to quickly grab this. All right, after firing, let's say 100 and something, maybe 200 nails today through this nailer, building the firewood stand, not one single jam, no issues, plenty of power. Actually, I've been overdriving nails, so I've been adjusting out. Pleased with that. Currently on the 5 amp hour 18 volt battery or 2.5 amp hour 36 volt battery, hopefully you can see that, we're still showing all 4 bars. This makes a pretty bold claim of up to 500 shots per charge. Maybe you can see that, maybe not. It's just gonna depend on a variety of factors that we just can't obviously test in a single video. I do have one complaint. I am loving the weight of this. I am loving the aggressive tip. It works really good. I've shot and toe nailed a lot today. No issues with that. The power's there. It's nice and quiet, doesn't have the flywheel and the ramp up noise. Just, I really love everything about it, except this magazine is a bit short. Due to the design and where it latches further up in the magazine, you can't put a whole lot of nails in here. So I probably am gonna invest in the extension. I can understand why they've kept it short. Some people are gonna wanna work in around studs, joists. They're gonna want shorter magazines, a shorter overall gun. Totally understand that. Me, I think I'm gonna get the extension to go longer so I'm not refilling as often. So I think in order to wrap this up, obviously we need to do a long-term review on this as well. We're gonna be framing a house here coming up in a few months with this, putting tens of thousands of nails through it. That's ultimately why I've got it. I'm trying to get away from pneumatic devices, long hoses, loud air compressors. Like, I'm completely done with pneumatics. Not to mention, I have got 2 pass loads in there that need complete rebuilding from framing my last house. I'm just not having good luck with pneumatics. So I've been wanting to try this. I've already tried sequential fire, something I'm personally not interested in, but some of you may want to see how quick we can fire. So I'm going to put this, by pressing this button right here, in sequential mode. I'm not going to be unsafe here, but let's just see how quick we can pop some nails in. With this not having a flywheel design like the DeWalt, for example, there's not all that ramp up period. All right, so all we've got to do is just hold the trigger down, and as soon as the tip's depressed, it just goes to firing away. No more single fire, letting off the trigger and going back in. All right, as we can see, very fast. And looks like I need to adjust my depth adjustment back in, which is good because I've got it really far out. Some of these are not flush. Do a quick test right here. Oh yeah, see, I just drove down in 1/4 of an inch. Let's come back out. So the power is absolutely there. I'll just have to play around with it because it's a new gun to figure out exactly where I want my depth adjustment to be. So I'm hearing it's just under 3 shots per second. It's actually a little slower than the previous model. Personally, I don't care. I'm not doing fast roof sheathing or anything like that. I personally I have always preferred the single fire mode. I like to do nice accurate shots to make sure my nails are going into the framing where they're supposed to be. I know some of you are professionals and can really get to going. So just under 3 shots a second. If you can go that fast, I don't know if you can live with that or not, but that's the specs I'm seeing online. All right, y'all, overall, I think this is going to be an absolute winner for me. I am in love with this gun. I'm gonna put some links down in the description. Go check out. They're for sale all over the place. Some places still have the extra battery. If you can find that deal, you may be watching this at a point that deal's no longer available, but I will put some links down there. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.